Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nurul Nabila Binti Zaini with matric number 272970. I am the presenter of the Group 5. In this presentation, I would like to present to you guys related to the IAS 38 Intangible Asset. Okay, enjoy. Summary in the IAS 38, intangible asset are an asset that is not form of the money and also no physical existence, but is capable of being identified through the contractual or through the permitted legal right. Okay. Example of intangible asset are patent, trademark, copyright, and also license. The internal costs for generated intangible assets are very difficult to distinguish between the costs that connect with the maintaining or expanding the operation of an entity or goodwill. Theory of development in IAS 38. Okay. Intangible assets that have been identified will be demonstrated and eventually will be generated in the probable future economic benefit. Okay, using the principle in the IAS 36, which is impairment of the asset, an entity can access the future economic benefit to be received from the asset, and the ability of resources to complete, use and derive some benefit from the intangible asset that can be demonstrated by secure those resources of an entity. And then development costs will only be capitalized after the feasibility of technology and the commercialization of the asset to be used and sold will be established. The main party that involved in the development of IAS 38 is the International Accounting Standard Committee. The International Accounting Standard Board accepted this standard in April 2001, which was first issued by the International Accounting Standard Committee in September 1998. That standard has superseded IAS 9 Research and Development, which has superseded an earlier version known as the Accounting for Research and Development Activities. The board revised the IAS 38 in March 2004 as part of the first phase of its business combination project. In January 2008, the board amended IAS 38 again as part of the second phase of its business combination project. The board updated IAS 38 in May 2014 to clarify when the adoption of the revenue based on the amortization approach is acceptable. The basic used to verify out the standard IAS 38 intangible asset is the domestic basic. Before we go further, domestic is the basic that has been used when we believe the statement because of the confidence in the person or group issuing the statement. The statement mostly made by the authority, and because of that, we will confident in using the statement. Okay, like in September 1998, International Accounting Standard 38 Intangible Asset was issued by the International Accounting Standard Committee. The board revised the IAS 38 in March 2004 as part of the first phase of its business combination project. The International Accounting Standard Committee here is the higher position authority which released the role and procedure for the accounting intangible asset. Therefore, the statement released by them will be followed by all the entity without any doubt. Intangible Asset IAS 38 has nature of the principle-based accounting standard because of it provide a fundamental concept rather than detailed rule for the companies. Okay, this principle will create a criteria, a certainty that does not necessarily give detailed instruction for the exact standard. Okay, for example, like definition of the intangible asset itself. Okay, is identifiable non-monetary asset and also without physical substance. And they also have another criteria which is identifiability, control over the resources, and also existence for the future economic benefit. So this indicate that the intangible asset has the broad of concept. Okay, however, the inherent is uncertainty in this principle require higher level of knowledge and business expertise to make the appropriate decision making. Okay, why intangible asset has nature of the principle-based accounting? Because of three things, which is first, they need judgment from the organization in order to recognize and measure the intangible asset. Second, because of flexibility, and third, because of intangible asset provide broad the guideline that can be practical for the variety of the circumstances. Okay. Firstly, we look at the need judgment from the organization in order to measure and recognize the intangible asset. To measure and classify it as an intangible asset, the company need to evaluate first an asset that include intangible and tangible part, whether it should be treated under IAS 19, property, plant and equipment, or IAS 38, which is intangible asset. Okay, secondly, IAS 38 intangible asset has the nature of the principle-based accounting because of the flexibility. Following this principle, enable the companies to acquire intangible asset in the various of ways in order to respond to the altered circumstances. Intangible asset can be acquired by the separate purchase, government grant, exchange of the asset, creation, and also part of the business combination. However, sometimes there is also uncertainty about the timing or the amount of the inflow, but due to this flexibility of the principle based standard, the company can be flexible by using their own reasonable and supportable assumption to consider it as satisfier of the intangible asset. Okay, thirdly, the principle-based approach of the intangible asset also provide the broad guideline that can be practical for a variety of the circumstances. For example, in the classification of the intangible asset based on their useful life. Okay, to predict the lifespan of the end asset, especially for the intangible asset that without the physical substance, is quite challenging. But still, there is a several factors in the IAS 38 in the paragraph 19 that provide an accountant with the recommendation of the estimating the useful life of the intangible asset, and it's mean that principle-based approach provide us the broad guideline that can be practical, even though it's difficult to determine their lifespan. Okay, when we go through the intangible asset material, we found that several limitations in the IAS 38. Okay, here are three things. Limitation, which is internet reference material are few, and in terms of the measurement, there is a problematic to understand, and also limitation in the recognition. Okay, firstly, in terms of the internet reference material are few. The case study will only invoke the primary internal material due to the lack of the reference of the IAS 38. They are unavailable due to the publication, case study, and also other source online. We have to log in into the website before looking at the requested data, and sign in might expose our information and identity. Okay, in terms of the measurement of intangible asset, the wording used in the IAS 38 is confusing us, and our group took time and effort to properly understand the IAS 38. We need to understand IAS 38 three times to get the measurement concept. Okay, next for the recognition of the intangible asset. According to the IAS 38, a firm must be recognized an intangible asset whether purchased or established. If it reasonable, certain that the asset future economic benefit will flow to the business and the asset cost can be properly identified. As a consequence, it will be difficult to recognize as an intangible asset if it acquired in any other method. Intangible asset must meet both the definition and the recognition of criteria to be intangible. To overcome the issue of the lack of reference material, IAS 38 can establish the collaborative and collaboration relationship with the academic and accounting research. This is because it able to create the advisory services and provide the additional reference to the research. With the cooperation of this party, more different sources of the IS 38 can be added, and also the repetition on the same information can be reduced. Okay, for the measurement, the word used in this part are a little bit confusing us. So our suggestion to this problem is IS 38 need to create a network system that connect with the research lecturer, experienced accountants, new accountants, and also students like us. It can be facilitate a new accountant and student for access the information and reference material to help more understanding to the application of the standard and also conduct the research activities. And then the last one is issue of the limitation in the recognition and requirement. The IFRS Foundation and IASP are required to organize and coordinate the seminar or skill training that focus on IAS 38 only. The activity of the training accountant in the recognition of intangible asset should be made as the main activity of the program. At the end of the program, the accountant will be better prepared to manage the accounting of intangible asset of any existing organization in accordance with the standard that set out in IAS 38. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.